Just like the Kemethians, the ancient Igbo also believed that everything one is looking for in the universe is inside the body, because our body and the universe are one and the same. There is nothing different between us and the universe of light. We are just like the universe of light. The secret is that the universe functions the same way the human body functions, and to understand God, one must understand the body. This is very important. The secret of secrets is that the universe functions the same way the human body functions. And to understand God, one must understand the body, which is Ogodo in Alpha Igbo. The body is the temple of the god, Ebachi or Bichi, which is where he/she dwells and functions. Ebachi is the tree of life, which is the human body, that is the brain, all the way down to the tailbone. That is the tailbone. What the Bible describes as the Jacob's ladder is actually the tail, that the light that rises within Ebachi, all the way up or down to the head, which is the crown of life, the heaven, which is also corresponding to the tailbone, below, as above so below. Human brain has the same function as the magnetic field, north and south of the magnetic field, Enunana, the left and the right side of the brain, Omanachi, the sun and the moon. The ancient Igbo knew how the human biological systems were made. I made a mention of this in my last documentary called the Magnum Opus of the Igbo Axis Mundi. The Ark of the Covenant is the arch of the human brain, and arch is a dome, the posture of Nut. Nut means sky, the equivalent of the Igbo word for sky, which is Enu. Nut equals Enu. Heaven is actually below the earth, as it was recorded by the ancient Kush Kemet civilization and the ancient Igbo. Heaven is at the core of the cosmos, which is Imana, the womb of the earth. Uche is the beginning and the end of all things in the universe. Uche is the Igbo word for the human mind. Everything in Uche can be found in the universe. Uche esoterically means receiver of light. That is Uchangu. Uche na Changu. The vault of heaven is the arch, the dome of the brain. The crescent moon at Leja in Sukkah is a representation of the vault of heaven. The corpus callosum being Omana as ONYE. The crescent moon and the sun in the middle is Chi, representing the thalamus as a sun disk of Chi, which is a circle and a dot in the middle, a sacred bond of the Igbo yin yang. Omanachi, Akenachi, Alele. This is where the Freemasons got the idea for what they call the Royal Arch. The word monarch breaks down as moon arch, as in moon arch. The monarch is the moon arch. The monarch is the moon arch. The arch, which is the crescent moon, a symbol of the Igbo earth goddess.
And yet it was complete in itself, a god. The god emerged from the agitated waters like a wide-open eye at the dawning of the world. Dispelling darkness as it rose, it spread its rays from the source of itself, lighting the world around it like a rising sun. Ptah! The god cried, breaking the surface of the waves and spitting water as it emerged. Gulping for air and calling out the world's first sound, the god heard his own voice echo across the waters. Ptah! He chanted a melody that pulsed to a rhythmic beat. This is the ground, the beat of being, he chanted. And with his chant, a hillock of earth appeared beneath him, and upon this mound he rested. And thus was matter born, and the beginnings of form.
Every morning the sun rises from the soul all the way up to the mind, you know. So we are from Nu, you know, Nu, Onu. The word Nu came from the Igbo word Onunu, Onunu, Onu, Onunu. Onu goes up to the sky. So everything starts with the soul, the primordial mother, our heart. This literally gives us the roots where the Westerners derive the word Ptah man, or the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus derives from the Ptah man, pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus derives from their names. Their names derive from Ptah. Petu equals Ptah, like hypothalamus, like hippo. The hippo equals Ptah. Ptah man, pituitary gland, and hypothalamus are what the ancient Igbo called Obuatu. Obuatuche. The pituitary gland is very important as it takes messages from the brain via a gland called the hypothalamus and uses their messages to produce hormones that affect many parts of the body, including stimulating all the other hormones, producing glands to produce their other hormones. So like the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus are basically like Ato and Nato working together, you know, producing, because like the brain, everything takes place in the brain before it takes place in physical. So when you are in control of your brain, you're basically in control of your life. You're in control of everything to control your brain is to control your life, but for your mind to be controlled is to become a tool. Like government literally means mind control. Government, to govern the mind of the masses. Ptah derives from the Igbo Obuatu, meaning the molder of thoughts, the one that lays the structural plan of the cosmos. That is Ptah, which is Obuatu. If we should get a Westerner to pronounce Obuatu, they will most likely say Ptah, which is what they recorded as Ptah or Peter. The name Peter was derived from Ptah. There's no one named Peter that once existed. All the Jesus disciples, they're all fake. They were all created in Greece. The Greeks wrote the New Testament. They're all fictional characters. Every single one of them. They are all fictional characters, including Jesus. They are all a product of astrotheology. That's what they are. The hole at the arch of the brain is called for a man, literal meaning that it is for a man. A man is the kush netar of the underworld, whose Igbo equivalent is Ele. Both Amen, whom is Ele, are represented by the evening sun or planet Saturn. All open holes or passage in the human bones are called foramen in anatomy. All bones are full of holes, which is the root word for hole, equals holy, equals Helio, the Greek evening sun god, whose name derives from the Igbo Ele. The sun hole in Igbo land by a crescent moon decorated with a smelted iron slabs. This smelted iron in Igbo land is the oldest in the world, and the local shamans, Dibia, enlightens us that the Igbo sun god, Oshuru, whom is Ele, dwells inside the hole covered with the iron slab by the crescent moon. This place in Leja Sukkah, this place is in Leja and Sukkah. The name Leja is Eleja, meaning that Ele is hidden inside the the bottomless pit, which is the core of the cosmos, by the tailbone. Just from looking at the Sheol, doesn't it look like the back of a human head? In fact, it is the back of a human head. Sheol in the Hebrew Bible is a place of darkness to which all the dead go, both the righteous and the unrighteous, regardless of the moral choices made in life. The Sheol is a representation of the human brain in relation to everything, the natural events on earth. If you are looking at the Sheol image, you will notice that the sun and moon together, they are representing the right and the left side of the brain. This is the Hebrew cosmology, which is nothing but a work of alchemy. They copied this from the Heliopolis cosmology of Nut and Geb, representing the heaven and the earth. The Igbo word for the human head is Ishi. This word also means source or leader, as in ONYE, depending on the various Igbo dialects. The Igbo word for abyss is Onu, Olu, Ili, Onunu, Olulu. Eke is a symbol of light and the first element in Igbo cosmology. Eke means creator. The pineal intelligence hole is shaped just like the pineal glands hole or vagina opening. We create with both our vocal cords and the holes in our sex organs. Both of them are shaped just like the vesica piscis. Our eyes and mouth are also shaped like the vesica piscis, which is the symbol of NWATA. The sacred geometry of the vesica piscis derives from Uri, the ancient Igbo writing system of Igbo women, and Uli came from Awala, nature.
Imata chigi bo imata na Igbo mmadụ teghete. Bechigi is the realm of your mind. Your mind is the realm of Bechigi. Spirit is mind. Akpauchegi, Osora, and inside Akpauchegi is Osora, which is your pineal intelligence gland, shaped like the pine cone. The pineal gland is shaped like the pine cone. That is Osora again. Akpauchegi. It is inside Akpauchegi. Your spirit is your mind. The body, which is matter, actually limits the ability of your spirit to see the other realms of existence. This is what it's causing humans to be blind, or having their pineal gland calcified. And when your pineal gland is calcified, you can't really be able to see anything. You can't be brilliant. Brilliant is something bright. Brightness, brilliance, bright, they're the same words. Bright. Chi is pure white. Chi is white. The color of Chi is brightness, pure white, brilliance. In Afa Igbo, Chi is called Ijitora and Ijitofu. Ijite is the Afa term for path, journey, guide, ways. Ora means light, sun, illumination. Thus, Afa says that Chi is the journey of light, the ways to illumination. Basically, Chi is what guides one to self-illumination. Chi itself is the illumination of the self. Chi bu ijite ora onwe gi. Chi bu ijite ofu onwe gi. The gleaming light, Eke, rises from your tailbone all the way up to Osora, in between the two sides of your brain. All these events takes place Nimo Onwegi, which is Ipachigi, and it starts happening through self-evaluation. When you reject everything that you have been taught, reject everything that you have been taught, unlearn and relearn, unlearn everything and evaluate everything. Because everything that you believe until this point, everything that you know and believe until this point, there are things that you did not evaluate, you did not check them very well. All these events takes place n'ime onwe gị, which is ịkpachi gị. The serpent eke on a pole, the serpent on a pole stick, the serpent on the tree of life, the serpent on a pole stick held by Moses, the fictional character, the serpent in the modern medical emblem, which is known as the symbol of Hermes. All of them are esoterically languages and symbolisms. They are symbols of power, demonstrating how the soul becomes illuminated through the journey of enlightenment known as EGBUO, which is the journey of Chi. The Nsibiri symbol for the sun or light is exactly the same sun cross that the Christians called the cross of Calvary. The cross is a representation of your spinal cord and shoulder bones, or your two legs and your two arms and head when you spread them out and close your legs or cross your leg, creating a vertical and a horizontal line. In the Nsibiri symbolism for Chi, we also noticed that the serpent rises on the pillars. The pillars are esoterically your spinal cord, and the serpent Eke is the gleaming light rising from your tailbone all the way up to your pineal gland, also Orage, your mind, in between the two sides of your brain. Notice that in the Nsibiri symbol for Chi, we also see 3 lines on each side of the cross. The three represents the 33rd vertebrae in the human spinal column. This is the realm of the master. There are 32 paths to wisdom, and the 33rd is the master. Snakes don't move straight forward. They move left, they move right, left, right, left, right. You know, just like the frequency drawing. The frequency drawing. It moves left, it moves right, it moves up, it moves down. This is the same way the journey of spiritual enlightenment is. It is the balancing of the two sides of your brain. When you balance them, and the way you can balance these two is by being in the middle, which is where your pineal gland is located. Everything is relevant, both the good and the bad. They are all relevant. We wouldn't know one without the other. We gain enlightenment through our journey to the center, in between the left and the right hemisphere. The God and the Goddess dwells inside of us. They are the Awaras, natural energy forces that makes up what we are. We are actually the Awara. Wake up from your sedation. Realize that you are the Christ that you seek. You start realizing this by letting go of all things and all that is old within you. You let go of all things and evaluate your soul. You decide to purify the soul that is you, because you realize that all is within you. You realize that when you illuminate, your material body does not. So like a snake shedding its skin, you decided to outgrow the material realm by dwelling in the spirit realm. Bechi, you are the Christ that died on the cross of Calvary in order to gain eternal life. Ndwele. The Usude pyramids, like the Imhotep pyramids, are stages of human consciousness, or the manifestations of the 5th dimension, which is Bechi, the spiritual realm, where a soul rests. Ebi hena de metute, yene metute na mo, yene metute na mado, maniha de metute na chi. The first stage is the very bottom, known as Afo in Igbo. This stage is the material body of all living things. The 3rd dimension, this is the world of action, the world of matter, material. The 2nd stage is the world of formation, which is air, known as Nkwo in Igbo. The 3rd stage is the world of creation, water, which is Orie in Igbo. Orie is the primordial ocean wave of creation. The fourth stage is the world of fire, which is Eke, the primordial fire of creation. The first cosmic light, that is Eke. The fifth stage is the seed, the Ado, the core of the cosmos, which is the home of Chi, the very pointy end of the spiral or the ring nebula, which is the home of our divine self, Akochi. The pineal intelligence gland. What the Igbo refer to as Chi is what the Kemetians refers to as Ka, Ako, Aka, the primordial state, which is also what the Yorubas refers to as Ori. In Ogachi, the age of Chi, Igbo people spreaded their divine mystic knowledge of Chi all over the so-called 7 continents.